start. ASMR. Oh, yeah. That's not a beer.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Neil does, in fact, drink a lot of sweetened condensed milk.
Yeah, dude. Crack me a sweet condensy.
No! I did not like that on the fly.
Welcome back to Dead Pine Archives. I'm Dan. I'm disgusted. And I'm here with Zach, Kelly, and I don't even want to say Neil's name, but he unfortunately is here.
I am!
Hey, everybody.
Wow, fucking judge me for my sweet condensy.
Neil!
Stop. I'm going to say a tale, and my tale is a ghost story. Big surprise, but I'm very excited.
Are you?
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, which ghost?
So I am doing the ghost of Charlie Mott.
Who the hell is that?
Well, you're going to find out.
The creator of Mott's applesauce.
Oh my god.
That would actually be insane.
That would be wild.
Another
It
thick
is
drink.
Another
Okay.
drink.
I feel a little bit called out because sometimes I'm too lazy to get a spoon and you just, pop that bad boy open and you...
Okay, Heike used to put it in a cup and drive to work and just eat applesauce from a cup.
All right, so my story is Charlie Mott, not the applesauce guy, and our story is in 1845.
1845.
It's a long time
Yeah.
ago.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So
Is that around the time of Minnie Quay?
that probably,
Okay.
Oh, you know what?
I don't remember.
Something kind of cool with the Minnie Quay thing. I was up north a couple weeks ago, and literally people were talking about that tale.
Oh, I thought you were going to say some stupid ass joke.
No,
that's
no.
cool.
They were actually talking about it, and I was like, we covered that. None of them have heard our podcast, but
But
we
I
talked
have
about it.
approximate knowledge.
well, you guys say we're a really underground indie podcast that not many people know
I
because it's only the
guarantee
cool
they
people.
will have no idea what underground or indie means.
Exactly.
What's
and then
a
they'll feel dumb.
podcast?
I mean, there's a good chance they don't know that either.
Well, still, that's fun. Did you learn anything new, or was it all the stuff that you...
No, it was like less informational than what we had.
Yeah.
There once was a girl.
Who
Yup.
grew up in Nantucket.
No.
So that's not the words.
Take it away, Dan.
There is a beautiful island that is in the UP above it, and it is called Isle Royale.
Yes.
Island with cheese.
It's how the French
Yeah, sorry.
Is that...
how
I'm
the
sorry.
French named the island.
Did they?
Oh,
God
jeez.
damn
It
it.
got worse. Okay.
So...
Gotta get worse.
if you are from Michigan or not, it is a decently big island right on the border of Canada. It is renowned for its diverse ecosystems, a very dense forest, sparkling inland lakes, and rocky shorelines. It has a thriving population of moose and wolves, and they have been a subject to a long-term ecological studies.
Nice.
There are over 165 hiking trails. You can explore scenic ridges, ancient copper mining, and serene campsites,
Where was this again?
like above the UP, like
Oh,
right on the
okay,
border.
So
Yeah,
it's-
I'm
it's
pretty sure.
It's a bit of a.
Yes,
a
it's
go
up
there.
there. I'm pretty sure our
Gotcha.
friend Mike went one time when he was a bit younger, and he said he did not prep, nor did his friends, for a hike.
Well, and that's the whole thing, is that it's not like a campground. Like, it is
Yeah,
a wild park that you can camp in.
it is a national park,
Yes.
but it is not domesticated.
No, there's no lodgings, there's no place to buy food. Like, when you take the ferry over to the island, you have to have everything on you for as long as you're going to stay there.
Yeah, and I know he did a hike where they started on one part of the island and they were going to get picked up on the other, so they had to get there. And he was like, we were severely not ready for it. And he said he saw a moose not that far away, and he was like, they're ginormous.
Dude, I didn't realize how big it was. It's like 4 times the size of Mackinac.
Yeah. No, it's big.
Apparently,
can
it
run
is the 4th largest lake island in the world.
Oh, interesting.
Jesus.
So this is I know we talked about it on a past episode, but Isle Royale is the park where the wolves got helicoptered in.
I was thinking about that when you said moose and wolves. I was thinking of the one that was in its little hammock with a knife.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Classic.
Aw.
That was between 2018 and 2019 to help control the moose population and kind of reset things and balance them a little bit better. But yeah, they had the little wolves in the harnesses being flown onto the island.
Beautiful. Love it.
There are a lot of lakes on the island. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm just looking
it's
at
big.
a map and just zooming
And
in
it's
and out.
very like, you know,
I'm now curious.
wooded. It's beautiful. One day I would like to be there, but it is
That
very
is a hike.
it is very, you know, away from society. Like if you're gonna have an issue, you're fucked.
It is like as close as you can get
To the border.
the border
Yeah.
and still be like in the water.
Yeah, it's really, really, really close. I don't know how we got that one, but whatever. Yeah, so our story actually has to go right before the copper mining, when it got big there. So Charlie Mott, he had a 17-year-old Ojibwe native wife named Angelique. They were paid to stand guard on the isle because they had gone, like they had heard that copper was happening, or like it could be there. There were copper miners around. I think they technically were in like Wisconsin to start with, but they went with a bunch of prospectors there, and Angelique was actually the one who found a big piece of copper. And then the prospectors were like, hey, we'll pay you to stay a few months on here and just kind of like be here so that no one else can take it. And they decided, that sounds like a good idea. It was not. Big twist there.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, you found a big piece of copper, cool. So the people who sent them there were like, thanks for finding it. We're going to come get it eventually. But until we do, make sure nobody else tries to take it.
Yeah. So Charlie was paid $25 a month, while Angelique was paid $5 a month, but she specified that she was only supposed to cook. So I'll let it slide a little bit. That is equivalent of making around $1,000 a month and $217 a month.
Oof.
Yeah. And
I mean, living costs got to be nothing, though, on Isle Royale.
it is nothing.
Yeah,
There's nothing.
That's
So
the price of space travel, am I right?
so the
No.
plan was that they would stay on the island for a few months, with supplies being dropped off at some point in between. So I think it was like around 3 months. It was the only like, and they were
Okay.
there in early July.
So it's very much those TikToks of like the people who work the fire watchtowers.
Yeah.
And once every month or two, they get a drop of supplies and
Mhm.
got it.
So the couple had talked about buying supplies, but Cyrus Mandela, he was the expedition leader, he assured them they had plenty of food waiting for them on the island. I do have a few quotes from Angelique that was translated from her words about this whole job. She said, there I first met Mendahal, the man who brought us into this trouble. He said there was no need of carrying provisions so far up the lake and at so heavy of an expense, as he had plenty of preserves at La Pointe. When we got to La Pointe, we found this was not so. All we could get was half a barrel of flour, which we had to borrow from the mission, 6 pounds of butter that smelt badly and was white like lard, and a few beans. I didn't want to go to the island until we had something more to live on, and I told Charlie so. But Mendelhall over-persuaded him. He solemnly promised him 2 things. First, that he would send a boat with provisions in a few weeks, and then at the end of 3 months, he would be sure to come himself and take us away. So very much against my will, we went to Isle Royale on the 1st of July.
And he promised him a third thing, that they were magic beans.
Honestly, probably did.
So, all right. So you have half a barrel of flour.
Mhm.
So this guy, God, this seems like such a scam already, right?
Yeah.
It seems like he
Guy's
just
like-
wants them to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just imagine him putting on like a bad fake Jamaican accent. It's like, island life, you no need, like.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just get like Pirates of the Caribbean vibes every time you say Isle.
At this point, I think you guys get where this is going. Isolated island next to Canada. 2 people living through, a few months with promised supplies.
They didn't ever get those supplies, did they?
Well, we will just have to wait and see if this
Okay.
goes exactly how it feels like it will go.
Then I'm hoping, I'm manifesting that they got the supplies and everything went well.
They lived happily ever after with 4 kids.
The end. Thanks for the episode, Dan.
Yup,
On to
and no
Kelly
ghost
with
here.
sports.
So, along with the
And
food.
that butter was, the white butter that smelled bad was actually whipped cream.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they had
were-
cakes
yeah.
everywhere. So, other than the small amount of food they had, they got a canoe and a fishing net. The food would last them a few weeks, while their outdoor survival abilities of foraging, fishing would hold them over till the supply boat was to come in a few weeks. And then, be out of there after 3.
Yeah.
So the summer was great, had enough berries, they fished. Angelique was pro gamer when it came to hunting and things like that. Like she was the one who knew what they were doing. I'm sure Charlie fished some, but
She played a lot of Minecraft.
maybe. They did start to worry as summer turned into fall and their supply ship hadn't come yet. Their food had dwindled and anxiety started to eat at them. But, their canoe and their fishing net, right? Like, they were pretty solid. Well, a storm happened. The boat was smashed in the harsh waves, essentially ridding any escape from the island. And it wasn't long after that their net fell apart from overuse. Again, this was in, the fall, before winter. And they haven't gotten that supply ship yet.
Sick.
Mhm.
Okay, so things are looking real good. So when was the first drop of supplies supposed to happen?
They were only supposed to get one,
Uh-huh.
but it was going to be a few weeks in. And then after 3 months, they'd get picked up.
Okay.
At the end of 3 months.
So
Yikes.
has it been about 3 months? Or
Well, if they got there in July and now it's going into fall.
I mean,
it's
fall
about.
technically starts in September. July to August,
What
August
are
to
you
September.
doing?
So they're like 4 months at that point, pretty much. 3 months.
July, August, September would have been about 3 months.
Yep.
So they should have probably gotten picked up in September, October, I'm
Yeah.
assuming, depending on what they're thinking. But it's about that time and they have not gotten their.
Or any supplies.
No
The
supplies.
Ones after a couple weeks later.
Yeah. They're basically supposed to get picked up at this point. So luckily, Angelique used her vast knowledge and creativity to make rabbit snares out of her own hair.
That's wild. I
Mhm.
mean, thank God Angelique was there because otherwise.
Oh yeah, they'd
Charlie's
been done.
done.
He would have been done
Matt's a
forever ago.
goner.
Yeah.
It already sounds like
Yeah.
he died, but
Well, I mean, he's a fucking idiot, right? Like he's the idiot who is like, oh, so
They promised.
he
White
seems like
men
a good
don't
guy.
promise and then not follow
Wait,
through.
was
Angelique,
he-
who's 17.
was he also white?
They did not specify anything else, so that means
So
that
that
man
means,
was
yeah.
white.
You
And they
wouldn't
also
know anything about this, Angelique. You're a woman.
and 17 and not white.
Yeah.
Which
You
they
don't
did
know
not
what the
specify.
promise
I
meant.
searched for his age because every single thing I looked up was like, oh yes, and his 17-year-old wife, but never his age.
Charlie was a strong 56.
Probably.
That's why I didn't last the winter.
I was gonna say an 18, you
And
know.
by strong 56, I mean a frail 34.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say he might have been 34, already living past his prime in that time. But yeah, so she became the main hunter and gatherer because she knew from her, childhood and everything. And Charlie became 100% dependent on her. After weeks of waiting, it finally became months without any supply ship or boat to pick them up, and snow started to bury the plants. And here's another quote from Angelique. When at last we found that we had been deserted and that we would have to spend the whole winter on the island and that there would be no getting away until spring. I tell you, such a thought was hard to bear. Indeed. Our flour and butter and beans were gone. We couldn't catch any more fish. Nothing else seemed left to us but sickness, starvation, and death itself. All we could do was eat bark and roots and bitter berries that only seemed to make the hunger worse. Oh, sir, hunger is an awful thing. It eats you up so inside, and you feel so all gone, as if you must go crazy. If you could only see the holes I made around the cabin in digging for something to eat, you would think it must have been some wild beast. They did have a small cabin, but when you are starving, energy is low, and so it was freezing in there because they did have a fire, but it was hard to keep up, Yeah, they both started to kind of waste away. They were plagued with fevers, mostly, induced by the harsh weather and low food. And then she goes on to say, we hadn't any snowshoes. We couldn't dig any roots. We drew our belts tighter and tighter, but it was no use.
Our pants still fell down.
You can't cheat hunger. You can't fill up that inward craving that gnaws within you like a wolf. Charlie suffered from it even worse than I did. As he grew weaker and weaker, he lost all heart and courage. Then fever set in, grew higher and higher,
Take me higher.
until at last he went clear out of his head. One day he sprang up and seized his butcher knife and began to sharpen it on a whetstone. He was tired of being hungry, he said. He would kill a sheep. Something to eat he must have. And then he glared at me as if he thought nobody could read his purpose but himself. I saw that I was the sheep he intended to kill and eat.
I'm sorry. It's a terrible thing, terrible circumstances. But yeah, I'm going to kill a sheep, and just staring crazy-eyed at her, licking his lips like
he sees a cheeseburger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like, bop for me, baby.
Thank you, my cheeseburger wife.
That was very along the lines of my candy wife. So all day and night long, I watched him and kept my eyes on him, not daring to sleep and expecting him to spring upon me at any moment. After the fever fits were gone, he came to himself. He was as kind as ever, and I never thought of telling him what a dreadful thing he tried to do, and saw him sink away and dry up until there was nothing left of him but skin and bones. At last he died so easily that I couldn't tell just when the last breath left his body.
I just imagine, she's like, I waited for him. I knew what he was planning. And I just imagine him being so weak from the hunger that he just slowly is like, sneak attack! And she just bats him in the back of the head and he drops the knife. That's how she got the knife from him.
You know what? Yeah.
He just stumbles and then he falls down and he just makes the sound of a million Lincoln logs.
So when oh god,
that was
he just
every
shatters.
bone breaking.
Originally when I read this, I was like, fuck Charlie. He's this older guy with, his young wife, and he's here and he obviously fucks them over. But she does speak very nicely of him, which women would either way in that time. But she
the way
did
she's
specify that he was very sweet and that was,
Well, he had to be. He was practically 75.
Oh yeah.
But he does seem from this story like the gullible idiot, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he was a very sweet man, but he's definitely
He's still at fault,
he's
but
still
yeah,
an
yeah.
idiot.
Just
I
wants
just,
to eat his burger wife.
Yeah, he just was his burger wife.
Burger wife. I have one last wish.
So she also has the next part that says, this was another big trouble. Now that Charlie was dead, what could I do with him? I washed him and laid him out, but I had no coffin for him.
Burger husband.
How could I bury him when all around was either rock or frozen as hard as rock?
Throw him in the water.
And I could not bear to throw him out in the snow.
Oh.
For 3 days, I remained with him in the hut, and it seemed almost like company to me, but I was afraid that if I continued to keep up the fire, he would spoil. The only thing I could do was leave him in the hut where I could sometimes see him, and go off and build a lodge for myself. So she left the only shelter they had.
Dumb.
because
Kick
he
him
was in
out.
there.
Yeah, that was
She
dumb.
was having a hard time lifting him. Because,
So I'm going
you
to
know,
build a whole new I mean, I guess you got nothing else to do, but at the same
Drag
time.
him.
well, and I do think that she very much cared for him. There's
Ride him like a fucking toboggan if everything's frozen. Get down the hill.
well, now that left 17-year-old Angelique on an isolated island in winter with her only companion being the corpse of her husband in the cabin. So she got her little bush shelter, used traditional Anishinaabe survival skills she learned when she was young. Well, younger.
I was going to
She's
say, she's
17.
been using those this whole fucking time.
And her diet mostly consisted of bitter poplar bark. It was a healthy native survival food, along with catching some rabbits here and there, given her much need for meat.
Well, yeah, I mean, bark's only going to last you so long.
Yeah, apparently that kind of bark is the only reason that she survived, though, with the amount of calories that it has. So it's time for us to get into some survival classes, because I couldn't tell you which bark that was.
Yeah, no, I mean...
There are some trees where there's like a soft inner bark that you're supposed to be able to chew.
Yeah, I can't tell them from the outside. They all look like bark.
Like,
But she knew exactly which ones because of all that. She lived through temperatures that often fell below zero. Brush was her shelter, and her forest knowledge that kept her between life and death.
yeah, damn, I mean, friggin' 17-year-old female Bear Grylls out here just making it happen.
Dude.
Pure Michigan.
All right, so this next part, I have a lot of her quotes at this part because it went way more into detail than anything else I was reading. But here's the next one. But the thing that most of all I was afraid of and that I had to pray hardest against was this. Sometimes I was so hungry, so very hungry, and the hunger raged so in my veins that I was tempted. Oh, how I was tempted to take Charlie and make soup of him.
Yeah,
I knew it was
husband soup.
Yeah, I knew it was
We've all
wrong.
been there.
I felt it was wrong. I didn't want to, but someday the fever might come on me
Bro, this
as
is
it
his
did on
body
him.
broken for you, man. Like, make it happen, dude.
And when I came to my senses, I might find myself in the very act of eating him up. Thank God, whatever else I suffered, I was spared that. And then she goes on to say, like, when these thoughts came over her, she wanted to die. She prayed a lot. And after a while, when her body got so, like, worn down, she couldn't even lay still anymore, and she would just wander. And she was like, I understand why, like, starving bears just wander, because you just kind of lose your mind. She did say if she prayed hard enough, sometimes she would get lucky, like, the next day. And so she credited that to God. And I was like, girl, no, you are a master huntsman. Like, you're making it happen. But whatever
Well,
gets
it's like
you through
people
it.
at the Oscars when they thank God, you know?
Yeah. Like, okay. So help finally came in May of 1846 when the boat returned to Isle Royale.
So practically like a year later. Almost.
May.
Like
If they started
9
in
months.
July,
Yeah,
yeah,
10
so-
months, 10 months. It seems as if...
Tell me it was that same fucker who said he was going to be there.
Yeah, like
With
Osiris or
supplies.
something.
It was him. So the crew...
Dude, I would kill him. Fucking, it's on site, dude.
The crew found Angelique barely alive, very thin, but somehow still breathing. So
They just like step over her and go get the copper.
I mean,
got
honestly, they
this.
probably would. She did specify that they kept count of all their days, like strict, like very strict. That they knew it was 5 days before Christmas when they ran out of all their food.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh my God, that's my birthday.
They're coming after you.
What an anniversary for Neil.
And
Yeah,
this,
you know?
let's celebrate my birth, and also let's celebrate Charlie and Angelique running out of food. And
Then
So
having
for
to pay
Neil's
their per month.
birthday-
Right.
let's celebrate burger wife and soup husband.
And every year on this day we fast.
No.
This is my soup husband for you.
Husband for you. So she says, one morning in May, I had good luck fishing and caught no less than 4 mullets at one time. Just as I was cooking them for breakfast, I heard a gun, and I fell back almost fainting. Then I heard another gun, and I started to run down to the landing.
They're
But
gonna
my
shoot
knee,
you.
It's
I know, but my knees
the fish
gave
Do
are
way.
not
shooting
run.
at us.
They will shoot.
and I sank to the ground. Another gun, and I was off to the boat in time to meet the crew when they came ashore. The very first man that landed was Mendehal, and he put up his hand to shake hands with me, which I did. He said, "Where is Charlie?" I told him he was asleep. He might go to the hut and see for himself. And they all ran off together. When Mendehal went into the hut and saw that Charlie was dead, the men took off Charlie's clothes and shoes and saw plain enough that I had not killed him, but that he died of starvation. When I came up, Mendehal began to cry and tried to explain things. He said that he sent a boat with provisions and didn't see why they didn't get to us, but the boys told me that that was a lie. I was too glad to get back to my mother to do anything. I thought his own conscience ought to punish him more than I could. No. I'm stabbing that man.
I'm cutting his balls off.
I'm going to give in to cannibalism in that moment and eat that man.
Eat his balls in front of him.
He'd like that. So she had lived nearly 10 months on the island, including the brutal winter months, completely alone. Her will to live provided her with the strength to keep going. That was a weird line that I wrote, but that's what I wrote. The crew took Angelique back to her mother at what is STE dot?
Sault Ste. Marie.
Yes. Sault Ste. Marie.
That is a dumb way of saying Sault Ste. Marie.
Again? Sault Ste. Marie.
No, I meant the abbreviation.
STE.
Oh, STE.
How is that Sault Ste. Marie?
What do you want? What do you want?
It's SAULT. That's their Sioux. I hate it all. Anyways, Sault Ste. Marie, where she slowly recovered from her ordeal. She lived another 30 years, passing away in 1874.
Oh, she only lived to be like 47.
Yeah, but also in the time in 1870s, not that bad. And also, she probably got messed up for, starving for months. Now, her remarkable story of a survival against the impossible basically disappears from history. It's not really anything. It's only... Oh, and I did write it down. Good.
You said
it's preserved...
1847, right?
1874.
Oh.
So 1870s, the rough life expectancy was around 40 to 45 years.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So she was average.
She was a ripe old age of 47.
She was a grand old dame.
Yeah. But so her story was only written down as a footnote in Ralph D. Williams' 1907 book about the region. This woman survived by herself on an island through the winters, the Canadian winters. Anyways.
Ask an orphan to do that.
Here's a... Oh, God.
Terrible.
Oh. God damn, I was like, why? No, yeah, they didn't, okay?
They didn't.
They didn't even last one day.
They did not. And then they were
displayed.
Frozen in time to be
They
displayed.
also didn't bury that body or eat it, so...
All of these loose children and orphans just running around, getting caught in the snow, getting thrown in the water by weird old men with too much rope. This...
You don't like my stories, I feel.
No, I feel like the children should stay home.
They should, yeah. There was this written part about her where it says Angelique Mott was a large Native American woman that had grown up in her tribe and was well equipped with forest lore and outdoor survival skills. It was well documented fact that many trappers were shown by the natives that one could survive from cooked poplar or aspen bark for quite a while. Angelique lived until 1874 and died in Sault Ste. Marie. To display how strong she was, there is a story that says a Frenchman made a bet that she couldn't carry a barrel of pork to the top of a nearby hill and back. She won it with ease, and when she finished, she volunteered to carry the barrel up again, but this time with the Frenchman atop it. And I was like, girl, you amazing. I do have a drawing of her.
Fake news.
I like it. She's hardcore.
Yeah.
She looks mean.
She has very strong facial features.
She's a handsome woman.
That's our whole story on that. Obviously, this is a ghost story. So the whole ghost, I think you could probably assume is Charlie. Yeah,
hey!
Charlie Mott.
I think it was the sheep that he hallucinated personally.
Along the way.
It's like Shaun the sheep, though. So it's like claymation.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Also, completely forgot that we were going into the ghost part of this.
I
was
know,
just like,
I
this is a good
know.
story.
Well, I liked the
Legends.
story, but usually when you look it up, it says his name and then talks about how she survived that. And I do feel that maybe that ghost story should be a little bit of the back thing because there's not even that much of a ghost story.
Yeah, well, give that girl her flowers.
Yeah, she deserves it.
Yeah.
But so visitors of Isle Royale reported sightings of a ghastly figure of Charlie Mott prowling the wilderness alone, a spectral prospector forever condemned to wander the rugged terrain. The apparition of Charlie Mott serves as a haunting reminder of the island's untamed wilderness, where the boundary between life and the afterlife blurs amidst the ancient pines and rocky cliffs.
Where's my burger wife?
Well, and see, this is like not to. I feel like this is the first ghost story that we've covered in a minute that has enough of a backstory that like that makes me kind of sad.
Yeah.
That Charlie's just wandering around, just so hungry.
Yeah, and it just says like it just looks like he's probably foraging for food.
I think the worst thing you could say about him is that he might have just been a tad too trusting.
Yeah, which honestly makes it all that much more sad.
Yeah.
That he was just like, well, why would he lie?
Yeah.
Me and my 17-year-old wife alone on an island?
Well, and if the story had turned out where she had like also died there, then I would be like, well, I blame Charlie. This is fucking stupid. But she did make it out in spite
She did,
of it.
and it is still his fault. But more than his fault, it's the other guy's fault.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
how dare you lie about everything?
He
Yeah.
just helped
He
her
wa-
test her boundaries.
If I was her, after I safely got passage off the island after they found me, my life's mission would be to fucking destroy Cyrus.
Yeah, she is a woman in the 1800s, so
Yeah, but
And a
she
native.
also has like killer instincts, clearly.
I'd be,
John Wick version.
If
I'd be honest to
Dude.
God.
I'd be starting a 30 episode podcast about surviving, and then offer an online course that.
She should have.
Yeah.
What was she thinking?
Yeah, idiot.
Dude, if I was her, the second they showed up on that boat, I would have been like, oh yeah, Charlie's over here. Come on, let me show you. And then you pick him up and you use him as a weapon. Because he weighs nothing by that point.
Well,
true.
yeah.
Beat Cyrus with your
stab him.
dead husband like a shovel.
Also,
Stab
a
him with
good
his forearm.
point to make. They do specify that she was like a bigger woman. Survival.
Yeah.
I will outlast many a folks. I have the reserves. I don't have the drive.
I was gonna say, do you have the skill to?
No.
do
You're like, listen,
No.
there's
I'll
no
outlive
food.
Charlie, though.
There's no food. I'm going to lay down for 6 to 8 weeks. I'll see you.
Yeah,
I'll see.
hibernate it out. I don't know what to tell you.
Meanwhile, I got hungry after 2 hours after eating.
Well, I'm not saying I wouldn't be hungry. Come on now. Got to keep up this physique.
That's when you have sleep for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, God, I have that too often. Anyway, so that is the story. It doesn't have much on, like, people's sighting of him or anything, but I thought it was a really cool story with her ending in a ghost, so I decided to say it anyways. If you go to the island, I do think they have, like, a thing for her there, and I forget where it was. I had it, but they have, like, a little, like, in-depth story about her at some place, which
There should
I
be
should
some
know.
sort of little monument somewhere.
Yeah, because that
Charlie's
is
still
8
in the
feet.
hut,
They
just has a
left him
burger.
there.
They should have a
but
McDonald's.
he's
on
Nicky
there.
now because they
Oh, yeah,
raided his
because
body.
yeah.
Which
There should
yeah.
be like a huge monument to her, and then there should be a little one for Charlie where people just leave little like snacks.
Just a little hamburger.
Oh, he just needs some snacks. A hamburger wife. We'll go. We'll bring a hamburger wife for him.
I think we should all go, and we should all be wearing those hamburger hats you get from the fair.
I don't want to
This
die.
is what he saw.
Listen, he would come get us. He's a
Listen,
ghost.
We can go there once we unlock the mysteries of how to
Survive.
No, not even how we once we unlock the mysteries of how to release a trapped spirit into the ether, then we can wear the burger hats and be like, "Come here, Charles. Come
It's
here."
me,
It is
Mayor
me.
McCheese.
That wouldn't work, Neil. You have to go, it's me, your burger wife.
Burger wife.
We're what you would call your hamburger helpers.
Oh my
Oh, that was good.
It's good.
That
Oh
was
my
good.
gosh. But yeah,
Alright,
so if you
alright.
go, you don't have to just worry about the terrain, about the animals, about running out of food yourself. You also have to watch out for Charlie, who may or may not be very, very hungry.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, and if you enjoyed this episode, let us know. Likes, comments, and 5-star reviews are the best way to support us, and don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to us so you don't miss an episode. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Dead Pine Archives, and make sure to check out our sister show, Midnight Horror Picture Show, available wherever you listen to podcasts. If you have any questions, concerns, or even just want to send us a little hi, you can also email us at info@deadpinearchives.com. And with that, we will see you back here next week.
Hungry ghost, burger wife, soup husband in the winter.
I love this song. When are you going to release the full track?
Yeah, yeah.
Drop the AP.
Dude, that straight bar that you read earlier about he was a something prospector. What was that?
Oh, he was
A spectral
a
prospector?
A spectral prospector.
prospector.
Like, damn, all right, shorty spin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was kind of fire. Wicked.
Have a big container of applesauce?
Yeah, I just dumped it
Okay,
into a
because I
cup.
thought you were like, I opened up the small container, put it in a
In a
cup,
cup.
brought it with me, drank it on the way.
Yeah.
Weird.
I also used to do that with milk and cereal, and then
I was going to say, milk is something you put in a cup.
and then I dumped it all over my seat while driving downtown for
All
school.
I picture is Dennis from
Yeah,
Always
that's
Sunny.
kind of
You
how it went.
stupid bitch.
Except I didn't even make it out of the driveway.
That is
I
so
imagine
funny.
Zachary just like grabbing one of those like jars of applesauce and just having a boba straw.
Aw.
I mean, sometimes
It doesn't
It's
change.
doable.
Listen, it doesn't change the taste, but it does kind of weird me out. Not saying I wouldn't do it though.
sometimes you just gotta suck down some applesauce.